Alfonso Ellis and then Shrimp blocked by Mutombo, a record-setting block. Kemp with Mutombo. Another block for Mutombo. 28. Mutombo embraces the ball and the unlikely upset. One of the great upsets in NBA playoff history. The 8th seed, a team that was 2 games over 500 on the season. The Denver Nuggets, youngest in the NBA, have beaten the team with the best record in the NBA, the Seattle Supersonics.
I haven't had an opportunity to express my condolences for the passing of Dikembe Mutombo, perhaps one of the greatest citizens that this planet has ever seen. We know him from his shot blocking abilities, and even he chose to make fun of it when he was using his shot blocking special ability to market himself.
You're right, that's a 5th floor problem. Okay.
Not in my house. No. Not today.
I think that there's a lot that we can learn from people like Mutombo who come from humble beginnings and remain humble throughout. Going back to his inauguration speech into the Basketball Hall of Fame, he said a couple of things that were very pertinent, not just to his own character, but things that I think Black men looking to go overseas could learn a thing or two from. He speaks to the fact that basketball let him become a global citizen. And because of basketball, he was able to do great things with his life, and he is showing gratitude for it.
And I'm proud that I was only the 3rd African player to play in the NBA. The son of Congo, DRC, to come to the US with nothing, and now I'm part of the NBA history. It means a lot to me. I want to dedicate this honor to my lovely wife, Rose Mutombo, the mother of my 3 beautiful children, my daughter Kerry, my middle man Jean-Jacques, and my little boy Ryan, who's always there to give me support. I love you guys so much. Playing basketball allowed me to becoming a global citizen. It's because of the game that I was able to build a hospital in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is now served more than 140,000 people. My life mission is to continue to change the living condition of the people in Africa. I might have not won the championship, but I'm a champion to so many people heart. Thank you so much. God bless you.
The quote from Henry Longfellow reads, "When a great man dies, for years the light he leaves behind him lies on the path of men." Essentially saying that when a great man dies, his effect on the men that he's touched lights their path as they go on to live lives that change the world or do great things in their own ways. And this is clearly seen when Masai Ujiri, the mastermind, brilliant GM of the Toronto Raptors, speaks about his mentor, Dikembe Mutombo.
Just heard the news about I don't know why I'm doing this. I just heard the news about Dikembe Mutombo, and it's really hard to believe, and yeah, it's hard for us to be with that guy, without that guy. You have no idea what Dikembe Mutombo meant to me. Wow.
Something that is important to understand is that this is a Nigerian man, and he's speaking about a Congolese man who was his mentor. Essentially, these are two men from very different, far apart places, but it was character and community that brought them to a place to where Masai is openly mourning the passing of his friend. In essence, going to other countries and seeing the world is about more than just what you can get from the places you go to, who you can be with, can you have a good time? But it's also about the connections that you make, the kinds of things that you can do to affect change and leave a lasting legacy. And you can see Masai is greatly shaken up by the passing of his friend because he knows that Dikembe Mutombo did great things, not just for himself, but for humanity and specifically the African continent.
Yeah, the tough one. I'm sorry, it's a tough one. I have to say though, that guy, he made us. He made us who we are. That guy is a giant, an incredible person. Yeah, who are we without Dikembe Mutombo? Not possible. It really is not. I went to Dikembe Mutombo's hometown with him. I went to his hospital. You have no idea what that guy means to the world. I mean, he's gone. He left us.
Dikembe Mutombo is survived by his 3 children, including his son pictured here, who is a member of the Georgia Tech basketball team. He writes in his tribute to his father on Instagram, "My dad will forever be my hero, not because of his success, not because of the millions who over the last 4 decades have come to know and love him. My dad is my hero because he simply cared. He remains the purest heart I have ever known. At times I thought of my dad as superhuman. The child in me would sigh to hear that this was never really the case. My dad was a regular man who would stop at no lengths to honor the world, its people, and its creator. He loved others with every ounce of his being. That's what made him so accessible. That's what made him real." A lot of the conversation around Passport Bros SYSBM is centered around going overseas for dating opportunities or dating other races of young ladies for dating opportunities because dating has gotten much more difficult or it just not fun like it used to be. And there, of course, is the conversation for guys looking for traditional relationships and ultimately traditional marriages. But there's a part of the conversation that is not focused on as much, and I would like to highlight, at least in part, this part of the conversation in this video. Guys going overseas after you found your lady and you started your family, you start thinking about your legacy. What are you going to leave behind? Or should I say, who are you going to leave behind? We can see in documenting the story of Dikembe Mutombo that he won the legacy battle, as he has 3 children who not only revere him, but they are prepared to go into the world and do great things. And so the question I would like to speak about in this particular video is not only what kind of legacy do Black American passport traveling passport bros want to leave with them or behind them, but if you are carrying a certain mindset with you overseas, and specifically for ADOS FBA men, it's how much play can I get? Then not only will you do damage to your own personal reputation and the reputation of other Black male passport travelers, but you'll do damage to your legacy, which I think is maybe the most important thing to be considered when we all go overseas making our moves. Because quite simply put, some of the moves that are being made by FBA, ADOS men are just not respectable.
I mean, I only know it as WAP.
And what does that stand for?
That's Cardi B.
On this team would you least like to date your sister?
What the hell? Diggs.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
Oh, Stefon Diggs.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
Least like to date my sister, Diggs. 100%.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister? And I might add, You're starting to be the runaway favorite for this.
Well, nobody want me to date this, is it? I'm a great guy. I'm actually a great guy.
There's actually seems to be a few guys that don't think that.
Feel differently about me?
Yeah.
They just don't know me well enough. That's what it is.
When I came across the alleged story of Cardi B getting with Stefon Diggs, it's problematic on several levels. The first of which is, if you're a man of integrity and you understand that marriage and family building is extremely difficult, as opposed to just partying and having fun and doing whatever you want to do, you can look at a married woman, no matter how beautiful she is, and say, listen, I know that you're married and I don't knowingly get with married women. If you want to get with me, maybe you have to at least get into the process of separation and I'll consider it. But if you're still married, you might feel different tomorrow. It's easy to say some sweet nothings to someone going through a rough patch in their marriage and have a exciting night with them. But then they have to go back to their family, or they may not go back to their family, but it's just messy. And then on top of that, her being pregnant with her husband's child, that's nothing to brag about. In fact, that is a lack of integrity. And even if he sees this video, which he probably won't, that lack of integrity has players in his own locker room saying, we don't want you anywhere near our sisters. Speaking of integrity, I know just the person to speak on the kind of integrity that passport bros should consider taking abroad.
I've been in places where it's had a ripple effect. I've been in places where I've just simply had extra integrity because I expected to be observed, or where I've had it because I signed an agreement. And one thing I do try to do is keep my promises and not cheat anybody, or because I was paid. And from these things, from these motives, I learned that, you know what, if you sit up and just taking seriously integrity, basic integrity, regarding agreements that you make with people, and just not cheating people and not cheating them out of any rights they have over you, just that, you know what, if people start saying, you know, that's actually a good idea. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take this more seriously in my job. And I say that because I observed it. Now, they might not be willing to learn as much from each other, but they know I traveled many miles to come here. And it's like that with many people across the world. It's not like that with people in the States. Not as much, but in other places, when you have traveled a long distance to get there, not only do they appreciate that sort of visit, but understand when you bring a hell of a character with you on top of that, they say now somebody really brought something that's worthwhile.
I'm not one to tell guys what they should or shouldn't do overseas. But what I will say in agreement with Jet Black is that having integrity in your suitcase is never going to hurt you. I'll give you an example. You hear all of the teammates of Stefon Diggs basically saying, stay away from my sister because I know who you are. There's something that he did that they saw as below board that was not on the up and up, that basically said, I don't want you anywhere near my sister. And if this kind of rumor is true, I can totally understand why. That said, the reason why it's a great idea to pack integrity into your suitcase is because that young lady that you might want to marry after going to a certain place a couple of times, or living in a certain city for a little while, maybe her father has eyes and ears out around the town that can connect certain behaviors back to you. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. What I'm saying is, sooner or later, when you think past, I want to have someone to have a night's fun with, and you start thinking about, I want family and legacy, then it's legacy that is going to be limited by some of the decisions that you made earlier. At the end of our lives, we will be classified in one of two classifications as men when we get buried. Either as men that other great men are looking to and saying that we can't live without this person because he had such great character that the world is a worse place for him not being here. Or you could be the kind of guy that even your teammates are saying, we don't want you anywhere near our loved ones because we know how you are. This is character, it's integrity. And although it may not seem like the most important thing in the beginning, sooner or later, when you want the young lady that has some integrity and class and the characteristics that you want to settle down and create a legacy with, it's going to be your legacy that will be affected by the integrity you displayed before you even met her. Keep it in mind, because when we're black men out and about in the town, the things that we do get noticed and people remember. So make sure when they remember you, they remember good things like Dikembe Mutombo. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. Catch you next video. Take care, guys.